As indicated by the most recent long-haul conjecture, AMP cost will hit $0.03 toward the finish of 2024 and afterward $0.05 by the center of 2028. AMP will ascend to $0.07 inside the extended period of 2030. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.15, so the cost expanded by 36% from the very outset of the year. The anticipated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.143, and the year-to-year change plus 293%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 188%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.101 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.192. In the last part, the cost would add $0.13 and close the year at $2.5, which is plus 313% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $2.25 to $0.366, which is up 79%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.05, then dip to $0.0177 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $. That implies plus 283% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.366 to $0.473, which is plus 29%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.366, then take off to $0.39 inside the main portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.393. It is about plus 692% from today. 02152 AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.38, so the cost expanded by 4% from the very outset of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $128 and the year-to-year change plus 252%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 240%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.01 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.134. In the final part, the cost would lose $0.3 and close the year at $0.131, which is plus 248% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $131 to $9, which is up 121%. AMP will begin 2026 at $131, then, at that point, take off to $145 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $159. That implies plus 322% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.29 to $1.448, which is plus 55%. AMP will begin 2031 at $1.9, then take off to $0.311 inside the main portion of the year and finish 2031 at $3.33. It is about plus 783% from today. 4. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.34, so the cost diminished by 6% from the outset of the year. The anticipated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.113 and the year-to-year change plus 210%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 230%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.72 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $118. In the last part, the cost would lose $0.3 and close the year at $0.115, which is plus 236% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $1.115 to $2.55, which is up 122%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.115, then at that point take off to $0.127 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.139. That implies plus 306% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $2.255 to $3.98, which is plus 56%. AMP will begin 2031 at $2.55, then, at that point, take off to $2.275 inside the primary portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $2.95. It is about plus 763% from today. 0.01152 into 4. AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.34, so the cost diminished by 7% from the outset of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.075, and the year-to-year change plus 106%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 122%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.05 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.08. In the last part, the cost would lose $0.11 and close the year at $0.69, which is plus 104% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.69 to $0.171, which is up 148%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.69, then take off to $0.74 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.77. That implies plus 128% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.171 to $0.08, which is plus 22%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0171, then, at that point, take off to $0.0173 inside the main portion of the year and finish 2031 at $0.186. It is about plus 450% from today. 0.102 into 4. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.036. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.35, so the cost diminished by 3% from the very start of the year. The anticipated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.085, and the year-to-year change plus 134%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 141%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.57 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.91. In the last part, the cost would lose $0.13 and close the year at $0.78, which is plus 122% to the ongoing cost. AMP expectation 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a huge increment. AMP cost would move from $0.78 to $0.197, which is up 153%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.78, then, at that point, take off to $0.084 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.088. That implies plus 150% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.197 to $0.36, which is plus 20%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0197, then, at that point, take off to $0.199 inside the principal half of the year and finish 2031 at $0.14. It is about plus 508% from today. 12,150,000